to the significance portion. Now, the enduring issues part is really up to you and how you process enduring issues. Like to tangle with because we don't know the concepts as well. I definitely think the enduring issues of scarcity, the enduring issues of human rights violations, um, and definitely the enduring issue of power apply here. So go and make sure that you define those enduring issues and how they connect to this unit of the Industrial Revolution on these lines right here. Again, often folks do not do this, and this is why you end up with the incomplete. So we already did the first page, or at least like I sent you to the place where you can find information for the first page. Now let's get to the nitty gritty information. What was the Industrial Revolution? So if we go back up here to our reading, we can one already see some definitions in the places that we read already, but there's information here that talks about the change in energy production. I'm gonna let you know this whole entire reading, you're gonna have to kind of come up with your own explanation of what the Industrial Revolution is. So you might be able to answer that question at the end because all of this information together will give you that answer. But in short, the Industrial Revolution is a transition away from man powered, natural powered, like water and like putting things next to the river, and a transition into more mechanical um, energy, different forms of fuel. And you will find those responses on how to word that by reading these paragraphs. Now, here I can already tell that this is going to give me something about technological innovation. It talks about changes in energy, and it'll explain more about what different sources of fuel and energy were powering the Industrial Revolution before and after. Now, if we go down here, we see the title, Industrialization and Slavery. Historian Eric Williams concluded Atlantic slave trade and the slave plantation system in the Caribbean and in the Americas in general were crucial to European industrialization. So this tells me that this is a historical circumstance. So I might want to go back to the first page of my concept map and include some information I read in here about historical circumstance. Big hint, these factories and these industrialized cities are going to need natural resources, things that are harvested, things that come from the earth. So you could already assume where slave labor and just folks who work in rural or farming or agriculture situations help contribute to the Industrial Revolution. You can also see that with this header right here, agriculture and population. Let's see what we could answer with these headers. So, what is the Industrial Revolution? We kind of have we can make a running explanation of that based on just the shift from agriculture to mechanics, machinery, and factories. There's more information to fill in. That's not going to be the only acceptable definition I take. Innovation in technology. There's already a reading about innovation in fuel and changes in energy sources. Historical circumstance. We have some information on coal. We have some information on slavery and the shift to industrialization. So you should go back to those places to put bullets in for these headers. And then significance, environmental and economic. Now I think the last thing that we read was talking about the population. So I definitely think environmental and population go hand in hand because people live in an environment. And then economic because people are working either in agriculture or in the industrial sector. And then let's see who benefited and who was harmed. I'm sure that that'll be in those paragraphs we just saw on page, if it scrolls faster, on page 7, because it says agriculture and population. I would also use these charts, which give you information and snapshot on the population. You can zoom in and it has like crisp, um, you can see the numbers pretty clearly. It's not blurry. Um, Now, not only do you have information on population here. You also have some more images, definitions of the word rural, urban, and urbanization. You also see changes in the England population here. This is a map of England and the different railway systems. Now let's keep going. Who benefited and who was harmed? I think these two descriptions of who are the working class and who's the middle class or the bourgeoisie, you should practice saying that word because we're going to hear it again. You can make your own assumptions about who benefited and who was harmed and fill that out on your concept map on the last page. All right, last piece of work that you need to make sure you do is this questionnaire for Crash Course World History Industrial Revolution. The link is linked right here. If it's not, I will also send out the link in class, so do not worry. And you need to make sure you fill out this questionnaire from 10 to 11, and that is your prep work for the break. So honestly, this work can all be done in one setting. So just to recap, you need to make sure you do pages 30 and 31 of your concept map. And you need to make sure you do pages 10 and 11. I would delete these little lines when you want to fill in your answers so it doesn't mess up the formatting of your source pack. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving break, y'all. Please make sure that you message Mr. Lopez or myself, Mr. White, if you have any complications or questions. And have a great day.